The whispers around Hallis Hall are getting louder, and this time, it's not just noise. The Chicago Bears are officially being linked to one of the NFL's most dominant edge rushers, Trey Hendrickson of the Cincinnati Bengals. For weeks, fans have begged the front office to make a move to strengthen the pass rush. It seems that patience might finally be paying off. As the NFL trade deadline nears, reports have surfaced connecting Hendrickson not just to Chicago, but also to the Indianapolis Colts. Both teams are in the market for defensive power, but the Bears' situation is unique, and maybe, just maybe, they're in the driver's seat. Let's start with the basics. The Bengals are a team in disarray. Their star quarterback Joe Burrow is gone for the year, the roster is banged up, and their salary cap is a mess. In short, they're facing a reset. And when that happens, valuable veterans like Trey Hendrickson become prime trade candidates. For Chicago, that's an opportunity. A golden one. The Bears are coming off back-to-back wins and, for the first time all season, momentum feels real. The defense has started to tighten up, the offense is showing rhythm, and confidence is building. Adding a proven force like Hendrickson could transform this defense overnight. This isn't just speculation from fans either. Multiple insiders, including respected analysts who've accurately predicted big trades in the past, believe Hendrickson's move to Chicago is highly plausible. One even went as far as to say it feels like a lock. When names like that start circling, it's worth listening. The connection makes sense. Hendrickson is 30 years old, but age hasn't slowed him one bit. Over the past 3 seasons, he's been one of the most consistent and feared pass rushers in the league. His motor never stops, his leverage is elite, and his burst off the line can wreck a game plan in seconds. In just the first 5 games of the 2025 season, Hendrickson has already racked up 4 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, and over 20 pressures. To put that in perspective, the entire Bears defensive line has barely matched that total combined. So, imagine pairing that production with Montez sweat. Imagine the chaos that would cause for opposing quarterbacks. This is more than just a rumor, it's the kind of opportunity that could reshape the Bears' defense mid-season. Trey Hendrickson isn't just a good player, he's the kind of player Chicago's defensive identity has been missing. At 6 feet 4 inches and 265 pounds, the Florida Atlantic product plays with relentless intensity and discipline. Since being drafted by the New Orleans Saints in 2017, he's developed into a premier edge rusher with 81 career sacks and over 160 quarterback hits. Even more impressive? He's showing no signs of slowing down. In his last 2 seasons, he's posted back-to-back double-digit sack totals, 17.5 in each, and he's on pace to match that again this year. Few players in the league maintain that kind of consistency into their 30s. Right now, Hendrickson's presence would instantly elevate Chicago's defensive line. While Sweat has been solid, the Bears' edge rotation has struggled to generate consistent pressure. Young players like Austin Booker are developing, but they're not yet reliable week to week. Dominique Robinson has been moved around, Daniel Hardy is mostly a special teams piece, and overall, the group lacks that one disruptive spark. That's exactly what Hendrickson brings. A spark and a standard. If the Bears were to land him, the entire dynamic of this defense could shift. The secondary wouldn't be forced to cover for extended plays, linebackers could play faster, and opposing offenses would have to game plan around 2 elite edge threats. That's the kind of move that changes outcomes. There's also another layer to this: familiarity and leadership. Hendrickson was originally drafted by the Saints when Dennis Allen was defensive coordinator. Under Allen's system, Hendrickson broke out, recording 13.5 sacks in his final year with New Orleans before moving to Cincinnati. He flourished there, proving his production wasn't tied to just one scheme or coach, but that connection to Allen's style remained significant. And here's something important to consider: Hendrickson is known for being a team-first player. He's respected in locker rooms for his intensity and professionalism. Chicago's young defensive core could benefit greatly from that example. Now let's talk business. Hendrickson is in the final year of his contract, carrying a $25 million cap hit. On paper, that might seem steep, but the Bears have something many teams don't: cap flexibility. With plenty of financial room before major extensions kick in for players like Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, Chicago could absorb that hit, or even restructure deals to make it work. The timing couldn't be better. The Bears have a window to build around their rookie quarterback while his contract is still manageable. Moves like this, aggressive, smart, and immediate, are how playoff teams get built. And speaking of timing, let's pause for just a moment. If you love deep dive Bears analysis and want to stay updated with every move this front office makes, hit that subscribe button right now. Join a community that breaks the news, analyzes the plays, and lives for Chicago football. Don't miss the next big update. It might just be the trade that changes everything. Now, back to what really matters: how to make this deal happen. Let's get to the heart of the matter. What would it actually take to bring Trey Hendrickson to Chicago? Reports suggest several trade structures could make sense for both sides, depending on how aggressive the Bears are willing to be and how much the Bengals want to recoup before starting their rebuild. Option 1. Tight end Cole Kmet and a 2026 second-round pick for Hendrickson. This would be a shocker, but it makes some sense. Trading Kmet would free up over $11 million in cap space, nearly enough to offset Hendrickson's number. The Bengals, who desperately need help at tight end, would get a reliable target and a valuable draft pick. Meanwhile, Chicago could move forward with Colston Loveland as their young T1, maximizing both value and flexibility. Option 2. Defensive end DeMarcus Walker and a 2026 first-round pick. At first glance, it looks expensive, but consider the upside. If Hendrickson joins the Bears and they go on a strong playoff run, that first-round pick likely falls into the late 20s or 30s. Cincinnati gets a young defensive lineman on a manageable contract plus a premium pick, while Chicago gains a Pro Bowl-level pass rusher who immediately raises the defense's ceiling. It's the kind of win-now move that signals belief in your roster. And after years of rebuilding, that statement might be exactly what Chicago needs. This is the most creative option, and perhaps the most balanced. The Bengals could use offensive line help, and Jones still has upside on his rookie deal. Bagent gives them temporary depth at quarterback while Burrow recovers, and the draft pick provides future flexibility. For Chicago, it would be a clear sign that the front office is prioritizing defense and immediate results. The Bears would have to trust their offensive line depth, but if the goal is to chase wins now, the trade-off might be worth it. In all scenarios, Hendrickson's contract remains the key factor. He's an unrestricted free agent after the season, which means the Bears could either extend him immediately or let him test the market. Given their cap situation, extending him right away makes the most sense, securing an elite pass rusher before the price tag goes up. And here's the truth: if the Bears are serious about building a contender around their young quarterback, they can't just rely on potential. They need proven playmakers. Hendrickson checks every box: production, consistency, leadership, and edge presence. This move wouldn't just help the defense. It would send a message to the entire league. A message that says the Chicago Bears are done rebuilding. Because once you add a player like Trey Hendrickson next to Montez Sweat, with emerging young talent behind them, that front seven instantly becomes one of the most dangerous in the NFC. And that's the type of foundation that wins games and builds championships.